Let's talk tension and foot pressure. Now, one thing about tension, people are always saying, oh, tension's the problem. And believe it or not, tension is not usually the problem. Could be if they're not using good quality thread. Yes, then there's going to be issues with the machine. Usually not tension issues. But there are times where you might use two different weights of thread in the needle and as different than when you have in the bobbin. That's when you would alter the tension. So first off, if you find yourself pulling your threads to the top side, the bobbin thread's coming up to the top, that means the top is too tight. So then we want to loosen it. Loosen it is a smaller number. All you need to do, I at least go a number when I move it. If I go to a number and a half and I see a nice change, maybe it's not all the way enough, I can keep on going. It's okay to touch the tension. Watch, look what I'm doing. How many of you were told never to touch the tension when you were growing up? Well, these days you don't have to worry about what it is. If you have little fingers that come visit, which we always do in our store, and I'll look at a sewing machine and be like rolled up to 8. No big deal. All I do is roll it back down to the middle number. 4 is the middle number on this machine, and that'll get me started. So if I'm using the same weight of thread in my needle as I am on my bobbin, this is really nothing that we need to touch or change. If you see the threads pulling to the back side and you don't want them pulled back there, you want them a little bit more balanced, then you change it to a higher number. If one number is enough or not, go a higher number and then that will work. It really is just a nice, easy change. One thing that you can find is if this is not changing your look of your stitch as you're going higher and higher or looser and looser, guess what? Tension's not the issue. Stop, put it back to the number it should be at, and then recheck how your machine is threaded. Is your bobbining correctly? That type of thing. Do you have the right needle on for the thread and fabric you're choosing? So that's tension. The other thing that you have up here is pressure on your machine. This minus and plus will actually change how firm your foot sits down on your fabric. So as you increase it, that would change the tension or the pressure up a little bit higher or looser. Why would you change this? One of the biggest things that I use it for, if you change it down to minus, that foot will come lighter, kind of hover on top of fabric that's very stretchy. So if you've ever had fabric kind of come out a little wavy once you've done stitching it, loosen this to a lighter pressure, then try it again. Your fabric will probably come out much flatter. If that doesn't change the option, that's where a walking foot comes into play, and purchase that at your local sewing machine store.